Hello, everybody. This is Tonya Ladner, Christian transformational coach and founder of the Narrow Gate Way. I am so happy to be live. It's been a while since I've been live, but I came live to tell you guys that I am preparing to record a show next week, Tuesday. The show is going to be titled, What is God Up to When I'm Grieving? What is God Up to When I'm Grieving? Now, this show is all about, questions that we all have asked at different times of our lives. And I think questions that many of us still ask. Questions like, how can a good God allow bad things to happen to good people? Where is God when, God could have stopped this from happening? Why didn't he? Where is God in my pain? Where is God in my pain? Is there purpose in my pain? How can God? There's one question that I used to ask, in one of the most intense times of my life that I have shared with you guys, when I was really hustling to become a mom and it just wasn't happening. And I would say to God, can't you see me? Can't you see how intense this is? I mean, I'm actually losing my faith. Like I'm no longer believing. How come you're allowing this to happen to me? Can't you see? Can't you see I'm about to fall away from you? Why are you allowing this to happen? And why are you allowing this to continue to happen? What's the purpose in this? I would ask questions like, what kind of God requires for me to pray and pray and pray? Because the Bible says pray without ceasing. What kind of God requires before he allows calamity to strike me? What kind of God requires for me to pray and pray and pray? I mean, really, doesn't he want to save me from calamity? So these are some questions that I used to ask personally. And so the show is called What is God Up to When I'm Grieving? What is God Up to When I'm Grieving? And we're going to have a guest. Our guest is my darling friend, Phumla Wamukoya, we've been friends for many years. And she has experienced personal grief firsthand. She does not profess to be a universal guru on grief. But she definitely is a guru on her own personal grief. And she's a guru on how God has dealt with her and how she has experienced God in her personal grief. And she has been brave enough to agree or decide to share her experiences so far with us. I guess because maybe that's part of the purpose in her pain, to help others see God firsthand or through her story, how God works with his children, even during the worst times of their life. This is a very deep issue, even for me right now, personally, a really deep issue. And I know for a lot of people listening to this, it's like, whoa, because these are real issues. But as you know, the Narrow Gateway, that's what we do. We tackle real issues, and we tackle them always with the mindset that we need to get used to asking that question: what's the God view? What's the God way? What is God saying? What will God have me do? That is life on the narrow way, so to speak. That's the life on the narrow way. We don't shy away from the tough questions. God is real. That's what we believe. God is real. He is that real. And so, yes, he does want to answer our questions. And yes, he does want to engage us to engage on real life issues. Why? Because he's all about real life. He's all about being real to us because he's real. He's all about his truth framing our reality so that we experience life in the way he has created life to be. So that's why we're asking this question now. I'm going to be recording this next Tuesday. So today is the 23rd. I'm going to be recording next Tuesday, which is the 31st of October. Phumla and I have already prepared the show, and we're going to be recording next Tuesday. But I would like questions from you guys. That's the purpose of this. I'd like questions from you guys. I'd like you guys to submit your questions. I'm sure you might have questions. Please be bold. Submit your questions. I've inserted a link in the preamble to this video. I've inserted a link. So just click on the link. Submit your questions. Your questions can be anonymous. So, if you don't want to include your name, that's fine. I didn't require you to include your name, even though if you want to, I'll be happy if you did. But yeah, so submit your questions, whatever your question might be. There's no such thing. Hi, Aisha. Thanks for coming on. And there's a link for you to submit any questions that you might have, my darling friend. So please go ahead and submit your questions so that we can tackle some of your questions during the show. Remember, it's going to be a recorded show. It's not a live show. It's a recorded show. So yeah, so please go ahead and submit your questions. Remember, God's show, there's nothing that God already knows what you're thinking. He already knows what your questions are. So it's not going to be like, you know, oh my gosh, I just uttered it to the world that I have this and that question about God and why he allowed this to happen to me. So please just feel free, you know, to articulate the questions in your heart about grief and about what God is up to during your grief, and let's tackle them together. Like I said, Phumla does not profess to be a guru in your personal grief, but she definitely, you know, has experiences when it comes to grief in her life, and she's learned a thing or two about God, you know, in this circumstance. Okay, my daughter's coming up the stairs, so I need to go. The joys of live videos at home. All right, you take care, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. All the details are in the bit right on top of the video, on the post on the video. So please go ahead. Oh yes, you need to submit your questions by Friday. You need to submit your questions by this Friday, which is the 27th of October. So please go ahead and do that. God bless you. Bye.